Hi everyone, how are you? So, last lesson was about the present simple. Today I am going to talk about the present simple and the present continuous, and when do we use one or the other. Alright, so let's get started. As you can see here, present simple or the present continuous. So, alright, as I spoke about in the last lesson, we use the present simple to talk about either a fact or something that is always true. However, the present continuous, we use it to talk about something which is happening now at the moment of speaking. For example, I am talking to the camera. I am talking to you. We also use it to talk about a temporary situation. I will give you an example in a minute. And we use the present continuous to talk about actions which happen again and again. So, let's look at some examples. For the present simple, let's look at the first one. A lot of the world's oil comes from the Middle East. Here we are talking about a fact, okay? It's something which is true. Second example, dogs are man's best friend, okay? Here we are talking about something which is always true. The dog is considered to be the man's best friend. Okay. I've put the verb in blue. A lot of the world's oil comes from the Middle East. Okay, comes, remember the S at the end. Dogs are man's best friend. Are is the verb, which is the verb to be. Now the present continuous. I am teaching you English. This is something which is happening now at the moment of speaking. Second example, I am learning to play the guitar. This is not happening right now at this moment, but in my life at the moment I am learning to play the guitar. This means that it's something which is happening at the moment. It's a process which is continuing to happen over and over again. It's a process which takes months, if not years. In the same way, you can say you are learning English. The third example, Peter is always talking about cars. Yeah? If we come back to the different reasons, this is an action which happens again and again. It's something that Peter does all the time. As you can see, I have put always in red here. Always is telling us that this action is happening again and again. Sometimes when we use always with the present continuous, like in this example, it can have a negative meaning. So if I say Peter is always talking about cars, depending on the context, this might mean that I am annoyed. I do not like it when he talks about cars. It's something which, because he does it all the time, it annoys me. So there, these are the three reasons we use the present continuous. So just a quick recap. The present simple is used to talk about a fact, or it's also used to talk about something which is always true. The present continuous, we use it to talk about something happening now. I am teaching you English. Something which is happening at the moment in your life. I am learning to play the guitar. And Third example, Peter is always talking about cars. This is something which happens again and again and again. Right, let's move to the next part. And how do we make the present simple? How do we make the present continuous? And let's look at the two different structures. As I explained in the last lesson, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The present simple, we use it with the verb without to. So we remove to. In the example, I talk to my father every day on the phone. Here you can see it is just the simple form of the verb talk. There is no to. And the exception in the present simple is that we need an S with he, she, or it. So remember that when you use he, she, or it, we need to put an S at the end of the verb. So I talk, she talks. Okay? I learn, she learns. I eat, he eats. Okay, so make sure that you pronounce the S at the end of the verb correctly so that we can hear it. To start, exaggerate, okay? Exaggerate the S so that the people listening can hear it. Let's look now at the present continuous. The present continuous is the verb to be plus your verb with ing at the end. For example, I am learning. So am is the verb to be in the present, I am, and then the verb learn plus ing, I am learning. You are learning, he, she is learning, we are learning, they are learning. So in the present continuous, the verb to be is always the same. It's always I am, you are, she is, we are, they are, then your verb plus the ing. It's always like that. In the next part, we're going to look at here how we make questions and how we make negatives. Okay? In the present simple, we need to use the auxiliary do to make questions and negatives. For example, do you like coffee? Yes, I like coffee. Or, no, I do not like coffee. So as you can see in the question, we use the auxiliary do, and in the negative, we need the auxiliary do. In the present simple, the question is, are you learning Spanish? So the only thing that we do is that we change the order of the verb and the subject. I will show you that. In the positive, it's you are learning Spanish. Question, are you learning Spanish? So you only change the subject and the verb to be, the auxiliary. In the negative, no, I am not learning Spanish. The only difference here is that we need not. Not is for the negative. I am not learning Spanish. I am learning English. Okay, so I'm just going to write this down for you because I forgot to write it. You are learning. Okay, you are learning. Sorry, my mistake for this one. I need to remove that. And as you will see, the are becomes first, and your subject, you, okay, changes position. And now you have the question: are you learning Spanish? Are you learning English? Are you watching TV? There. So, I'm going to continue in the next lesson to complicate, but that is it for today. This is something that you can practice on a daily basis, okay? You need to continue thinking about the present simple and the present continuous. It doesn't matter what level you are, because a lot of students find the difference between the two a little bit confusing. So don't be afraid to go back and to study the present simple and the present continuous. I will put some materials that you can download. I'll put a link at the bottom of this video so that you can practice as well. Okay? And if you have any questions, just write a comment at the bottom as usual, and I will try to help you with everything that I can when I have time. Okay? Alright everyone, have a great day, and I will see you for the next lesson. Alright, bye.